Prioritizing your money. How to run your budget prioritizing the most important to the least important. Bonus, snowball debt repayment explained. Alright guys, so you've got a couple dynamics, incomes and expenses. Incomes are pretty straightforward. Any money that comes in, primarily on a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly basis. Expenses. 1. Bills, nearly fixed payments that require paying off bi-weekly or monthly. Things like phone, rent, gym, Spotify. 2. Variable expenses. These are non-fixed items that you pay for randomly living your life. Food, gas, eating out, clothes, etc. 3. Debt payments. Minimum bi-weekly or monthly debt payments. Things like credit cards, mortgages, car debt, loans, etc. So, time for some visualization. Picture this beaker or cup full of water as your expenses in your budget. The beaker is your bank account or your expenses, and the water is your income. Right, the size of the beaker is your total expenses. The more the expenses, the bigger the beaker. So think like a measuring cup. Right, your measuring cup is made up of levels: 1 cup, 2 cup, 3 cup. In this case, it's your expenses, your bills, your variables, debt minimums, and that totals an amount that equals the amount of expenses you have on a monthly basis. Next part of the equation, bringing in income. So we've got different kinds of income: job incomes, government incomes, second job incomes, etc. Right, so what happens if we make $2,500 a month? If our expenses are $5,000, it only fills our beaker up or our cup up halfway. So if we add another $2,500, totaling $5,000, then we have a full beaker. So we're paying for all of our expenses. But what happens if we add a little bit extra, even as much as $200? Now we have overflow. And this is where we can get ahead. We can take this overflow, this extra income, and we can start prioritizing it. So the first place to prioritize it is in emergency savings. Suggest a minimum $1,000 or $2,000, and this is for emergencies, actual emergencies, not for luxury items. Right, once this account's full, you have overflow from that account. Picture water running out of cup after cup. So the second fund is maybe a car maintenance fund, something like $1,000 or $2,000. This is so if you have a car problem, you're not putting it on a credit card and going backwards. Eventually this is going to fill up, and then you're going to have overflow from this. And this is where things start to get a little bit different. This is where we recommend starting to pay off debt. And so, start with the smallest debt load you have, whether that be a credit card, a car loan, a student loan, and pay that off. All of your extra resources go to paying that off. Once that's done, tackle the next smallest load, whether that be another credit card, etc. And this is the method you use to pay off your debt. This process of paying off your smallest debt load first, then using the extra overflow or available money to pay off more debt of your next load is called snowballing. The idea being that as you pay off your debts, the minimum payments disappear from your total expenses, and that expense creates more overflow for you to pay off your debts more quickly. So, Q&A. What if I want to buy new clothes? Where does that money come from? Well, that money comes from right here. What we would suggest is taking a hypothetical cup, the size and dollar amount of the clothes that you want to buy or whatever the item is. And you take that money and you put it into the waterfall right here. And what that allows you to do is prioritize it and make an active choice or a conscious choice to prioritize it in front of paying off your debt, which is also a priority. You don't put it in front of your savings accounts, like your emergency savings and your car maintenance, but you can prioritize it and choose to put it in front of your debt repayment. This is something that if you need to do it, but know that you're consciously taking money out of paying off your debt. Next question. How do I fix or set my expenses? Learn the cash envelope system. Cash envelope system is when you set an amount to spend on variables like food and gas per month. Once set, don't spend past this amount. Also, use cash only. Next question. I don't have any overflow. What do I do? Learn to live within your means. There are two primary ways to do this. 1, make more income. 2, spend less money. Fix or shrink your variables, reduce necessary and remove unnecessary bills like rent, gym, etc. But the reality is, you have to do both. So final thoughts. Running a budget is a skill set. Most have not practiced or developed it. We were never taught it, and that's okay. This video is a simplified starting point for you to start understanding and practicing the skills to master your budget. Finally, be patient. Worthwhile skills take time to develop. Cup of tea, simplifying our world.